Today we are working on the Gardeners Know All the Dirt gardening sign. Hey y'all, thanks for crafting with me on Faithfully Dawning Designs. This is Summer Dawn. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification bell for all upcoming videos. So as you see, I am showing you how I took two different signs. One's a Christmas sign, one's a Valentine sign. Sanded off all the glitter. Peeled off these little galvanized hearts that are super cute. I then pulled off this ribbon on the back and I pulled off all the staples. And then I sanded them down really, really well so that they would adhere together. I did some glue and some staples, and this was my final result. I also covered it in this Mod Podge. It's the green one, so it's outdoor. And I let it cure for like 3 days. So after that, I figured it was pretty well ready to go and that it could be outside at that point and not just completely fall apart because these are little Dollar Tree signs. So I then take my white chalk paint, which I made myself with white acrylic apple barrel paint from Walmart and some baking soda and some crushed chalk as well. And I mixed it all together and I made my own chalk paint. And so as you see, I give it a good coat. I hit it with the heat gun, flipped it over, did the back side, gave it a total of 2 coats. And then we move on to giving it the lines so that it can have its shiplap look. As you see, it was a little bit longer than my rulers. So I just grabbed 2 of them. I got these rulers at Dollar Tree. They're actually not an exact foot long. And if you compare them, the inches don't line up with each other either. But that's okay. It works great for drawing a straight line. So, did that. This is my apple barrel pavement colored paint. It's like a really, 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 really dark gray, but it's not actually black. I like it better than black. I think it blends better. So as you see, I go over it right here where I just do the lines all the way across in order to give it that shiplap look and fill everything in really, really well. Then I am going to get my Waverly Antique Wax. That is my brown color, and my chip brush or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to start from the outside and I'm going to work my way in across all of the different sections to give it this distressed, kind of worn out, woodsy look. Pardon me. I'm going to do this all the way down, and that way I can just get everything covered. I do kind of hit the center a little bit, but not too much. I like to go from the outside in typically because I feel like it gives it more of a natural look. Typically when you have a sign that's getting distressed, the paint wears off from the outside in. I will also go over the lines that I have drawn in to give the distinguishment in the shiplap. I'll go over those as well just to kind of emphasize those and help those stand out a little bit better. Distinguish it, try to make it look more like individual pieces of wood. After that, I make sure to hit everything with my heat gun. I love my heat gun. I got it on Amazon. It's amazing. So next here, I have this piece of aluminum pan from Dollar Tree. They come in like a 2-pack. And I took it off the screen. I apologize for that. I was just cutting out a section. I'm going to use it to make a little tiny pail that I'm going to attach to the sign. So as you see, I'm actually using my fingernail right now to create grooves in it. It's super thin. I use those shears, but you really don't have to. You could honestly use a pair of scissors. I just had no idea where my scissors were at the moment. So I just grabbed my shears because they were right there. So I kind of cut it out to the size. And then what I do right here is I actually fold it in half. And I end up cutting it at a slight angle to where it looks more like pail shaped rather than, just a square. Then I use my paint scraper and I just rub along it, and it takes out all those little rivets, and it also gives it this really cute curl. So it makes it look a little bit more like an actual pail. Where I've disappeared right here is because I get a piece of wire and I am just taking the wire and bending it and twisting it around. I'm just using a little pick and punching some holes in the side of the aluminum. It's super easy to do. You can use pretty much anything. You can probably use a toothpick if you needed to. I put the wire through and then I twist the edges in this cute little curl so that number one, it stays in place, and then number two, it looks cute. And then I'm essentially making what's going to look like a little handle for the pail. So there I stream it through, kind of make sure I have it at the right length, the right angle, twisting it up really well. And then I proceed to do the cute little twist on the other side as well. After that, I line it up to my sign, and I put a line there because I'm going to paint some flowers on it. As you see, here's where I'm picking out all my colors. I decided I'm going to do like some little mini sunflowers. I don't want to do them all big, huge, gigantic sunflowers. I want to make them small. So I start with my lines, and I use that line that I drew at the top of the pail to show me where I want my stems to go past, but then where I don't want my leaves to go past and I don't want to go outside of. So here is where I am simply adding all my colors. Use lots of different colors because every time you add on different colors, you give it different layers, and that gives it dimension, that gives it just a lot of beauty, and it makes it pop. As you see, I use regular glue and hot glue, okay? Because if you just use hot glue with it being metal, it is going to pop off. If you use some other type of glue, you can use E6000, you can use Elmer's glue, it doesn't matter. Anything along those lines, it will stick better and stay on longer. So here's where I'm getting out my yellow, and I'm moving on to the actual sunflowers. I will zoom in here in just a second, and you can see how I do the sunflowers. I'm putting on the center part. I can't remember what it's called, but the center of the flower first to kind of give me an idea of where I want the petals to stem off of, because sunflowers, obviously, they are pretty big. So here's where I'm just starting to add on the different petals. I start off with a lighter yellow, and so I'll let you watch this for just a second.